teens. Craft cam? I figure the fact that I've worked with kids so much gives me at least a little bit of an edge in dealing with them most of the time, but at the very minimum, I don't care. It doesn't. Like, some people get really upset, you know? I I don't get really upset. I think it's behavior that should stop, but it's not worth me like taking it personally. Yeah. Well, and depending on what you're doing and what you want out of it, it just may not be useful to him, you know? Or it could just be that he's not messed with it and it's a lot to try to learn. Um, and if you don't know what you're getting into, you kind of open those things up and you're just like, Jesus, what in the hell? So it doesn't shock me. I'm sure there's a lot of things that are out there at this point that I don't utilize on Twitch. I've seen all sorts of features that I'm like, ugh, I just don't even want to deal with going to look into what the hell that is, you know? Because it's one more thing to have to try to keep up with. And the more points of failure you have, the more likely failure is. I'm big on when it comes to people streaming, as long as you know what you're going for and the things that you invest your time and energy towards are productive to that end, then it makes sense to me, right? But depending on why you're on Twitch, depending on why you're streaming and what you want out of it, your approach can be very different. But I think a lot of people don't necessarily really clearly define their goals in streaming. They've got things in their head that they think streaming will be and do, but they don't really ask themselves to define those things. Kitchen cam, main cam. And I feel like defining that stuff so you give yourself more understandable parameters is useful. And it changes over time. My original goals in streaming are not the same as now. All right. Yeah. Did ya? The gaming side of things is really hard to get into. Well, depending again on what you want. So, Sparky, as a streamer, what do you want out of streaming for you? What what is your goal? When I first started, I had kind of a multi-tiered thing, right? One, I needed income. That was a major part. I needed income. But also, I was hoping to. I had been really isolated for a very long time. I was looking to try to find other people who maybe had some similar ways of looking at the world to me. Um, I wanted to talk about some of the things that I had learned with the cooking because it was really hard learning on my own. And if there were other people who were trying to learn on their own, I was hoping that could be useful to them. But also, I was hoping to learn from them, right? Because I figured you never know when you're going to come across somebody who's got a lot of info for you. So those became, with those being the main goals, I could shape how I presented the stream to meet those goals. You gotta taste this here salsa. Woo! My bag made very loud noises. Yep. Hmm. What do you need? Salt. And I think we will do a little paprika in it. If I can find the right bag. It's not that one. I can't tell what that one is. Ja. Okay. Okay, here's the paprika. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, in the monetary side of it's hard, Sparky. That's a rough one. Um, Even the really, really successful streamers are not making bank, you know? I can't decide. I'm going to have to eat more. I'm going to call it good for now. We'll taste it tomorrow and see how it's decided to come together at that point. More citrus. I am actually kind of thinking about that, Dovey. I'm going to wait and see how it is tomorrow. And then based on that, that legitimately might be what I do to it, is add a little bit more lime. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't have any regular sized jars. I've got a little jar for ish. Maybe this. It also doesn't have the cilantro in it yet. So that is a missing flavor. Yeah. I'm not going to give her a ton. Um, and everybody's story is a little bit different. I don't know if you identify as male or female. Males, from what I've understood, get a little bit less as far as the nasty trolls. You guys, males will still get trolls, but females get a different brand of them. Um, just just lewd for the sake of being able to say something lewd. Because they just learn those words and they think they know what they mean. I'd say they were pretty heinous when I first started. They were worse than at any other time. Back early 2020. I do think that Twitch has gone through some phases since then. So the the feel of Twitch has kind of changed over the past 4 years to me. Thank you for your follow. Oh, I'm sorry, phone. I forgot. My oven is still on, right? Yeah, okay. Ding. I just, it got, it went, it's because I took it from um, 400 to 325, and so it was so significantly cooler in the kitchen that um, I felt concerned. Guys, I took my chips into the other room, not thinking about the fact that I was going to need to taste it after I added the cilantro. So I gotta go get it back. Hello, Penny. Well, if we're just eating a marshmallow, maybe. Mm-hmm. Mm. People find bizarre ways to get into your head, man. It's it's super annoying because I'm not easily offended. Um, but I think you kind of get to this point where it's not so much exactly what they're saying. It's just when that feels like it's all that's there. And when I first started streaming, it was chaos. A lot of times early streamers will have, just a few people in the room. They can kind of get comfortable with learning about themselves and their stream and how it all works and all that good jazz. Um, I had a housemate who was a piano streamer, and he was really very remarkable. Um, and he had hyped up my channel before I ever even started it. So on my test run, um, I had over 20 people in the room that entire time. And it was just always kind of chaos. So even in learning how to stream, um, it was just balls to the wall right out of the gate. And that was really nice in that I think it helped my channel grow, but also it was very stressful. Okay. I think we'll straighten this up a touch and then look at my taco seasoning recipe. Hey Google, check my timer. 3 minutes and 9 seconds. Debbie, what temp does a cheesecake need to come up to, please, madam? Oh, your Google was left out. I will probably want to add a little bit of extra heat to that salsa tomorrow as well. We'll kind of see how things go along, but that's a pretty mild salsa. Really? Okay, that's lower than I assumed. It doesn't even have to come up to custard temp. Let's see what we've come up with at this point. Mild is your favorite salsa? Right. Mmm, that is nowhere near cooked. Not even a little. We're gonna give that a solid. Hmm. Based on where that's at, I'm gonna give that another 30 minutes before I even bother. It's liquid. Mute me. All right, let's sit down and take a look at this. Craft cam. I did turn my oven temp down, so I figured it was going to take a decent amount longer than her recipe called for, but I was curious. Because that is a higher. Okay, Google, stop. That is a higher temperature for cheesecake than I usually see. Mute me. Okay. All right, finished yelling. All right. We're going to use. Okay. Sounds good. Okay, so this sauce It's a can of large whole tomatoes. So what will we assume that is? Maybe. I feel like he says something different later. Let me look. No, no grapes. Definitely, definitely not. How are you, Amelia? I know. I'm told that often. You summoned him. Okay, we need to soak our chilies. Because I'm lame. Damn it. Babish, what did you do? Toasted chilies, Luncheon hot chilies in the same pan, 1 to 2 minutes until fragrant, not smoking. Kill the heat and cover the chilies with water. Let the chili sit for 10 minutes until soft. Okay, okay. He's done some weird shit to this website, or the people who